What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. We actually got some early gameplay details on Verdansk. It's looking like some players are actually invited by Call of Duty to playtest Verdansk early, give their feedback, and some of them actually leak the entire thing and all of the details that you need to know. So that's what we're going to be covering today. If you find the video informative or helpful, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. A reminder, I am doing an operator bundle giveaway. If you want a chance to win one, all you got to do is comment down below your Activision ID and which operator bundle you want. The next winner will be picked this upcoming weekend. But let's go ahead, jump into it. So the first thing that we have here, so it looks like Activision has now officially confirmed that some in-game content in Call of Duty is AI generated. A lot of times when people would accuse them of AI for the artwork and things like that, they usually would not respond. They wouldn't say anything. But with Steam's new guidelines and terms of service and all that, they now require all video games to mention if they use AI. Call of Duty has mentioned that they do use it. So it says, our team uses generative AI tools to help develop some in-game assets. Activision says as part of a required disclosure on Steam. Now, they don't mention exactly what they use it for. We already know that they did mention they use AI for the anti-cheat, but many others were saying that they did it on the artwork. They did it on things that they shouldn't be using it for. But I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Now, the major topic that we have for today are the new gameplay details on Verdansk. So Charlie, Intel, and Ghost of Hope, they just went off and gave a bunch of information. I'm guessing their sources just gave them all this information at the same time. But Charlie Intel posted this, and he said, we've been hearing for weeks that Activision is trying to go all out content-wise and trying to make Verdansk's return to Warzone the best that it could be after the last few months of how bad the game's state is. It's one of the reasons why Season 2 of Warzone had absolutely nothing in it. Now, one of these things is the fact that Charlie Intel mentioned that some content creators playtested different builds of Verdansk for Warzone with different map elements, including different map traversal elements a few weeks back per sources, and the map was similar to the OG with stadium accessible but the roof being closed, confirming Ghost of Hope's reports. So they got, I guess, the same information that we're also going to mention, but they then went ahead and tweeted this. They said, nostalgia with Verdansk won't save all of the problems with Warzone, and from what we've heard, Activision is hoping Verdansk saves Warzone's player decline. Nothing we've heard so far, though, suggests there will be anything significant. Hoping we are wrong. And then they replied to this and they said, we've also heard that some creators playtested Verdansk a few weeks back and gave feedback on the map. It's not clear all that was played and what feedback will be taken into account. The latest rumors still remain that the map is expected to launch with the Season 3 update. Now, on top of the fact that players have actually gotten to play Verdansk, he mentions that they got to play it multiple times. So he says there's actually been 2 playtests for Verdansk so far with different build sources say. One test late last year, so around like December, and then one a few weeks back, all focus on giving feedback to Verdansk. So it looks like what Call of Duty is trying to do here is they're making 2 different variations of Verdansk and they're trying to get opinions. Now, one of the first variations where we talked about in the past, apparently Fringe was one of the playable POI, so they made adjustments to it. They made some changes, and it wasn't a one-to-one of Verdansk, so that was probably the first build that the creators got to play. And then the second one is more of the OG version, and here are the actual gameplay details that we got. So Ghost of Hope posted this. He said, exclusive details on the return of Verdansk. It will launch with Season 3 of Black Ops 6, so this upcoming March 20th. It is pretty much the OG March 2020 version, so the original version that got added before the map updates, before the destruction, before any of that happened, that's the version that they're going to be giving us. The train station interior is going to be closed off. The interior of the stadium will be open, but the roof will be closed, and then the trains are officially returning and no fast travel subway system. Now, some players were saying because the train station is closed, it's probably going to have like a fully detailed interior in later seasons, so they're going to do continuous map updates and then adjust the map and change it. Now, someone asked him if they're bringing back Verdansk one-to-one, why did they take so long in bringing it back? So he said, then why did they take so long if it's just a port could have just dropped at the start of BO6 Warzone? He says, I have no basis for suggesting this, but he thinks they were originally going to do their own spin on Verdansk and then course corrected at some point to just making it the OG version, but who knows? And that sort of makes sense because Call of Duty usually will always try to add some new things or change something up that people don't like. So maybe with the first playtest, they realized that maybe the feedback came in negative negative. People did not like the fact that they were adding POIs like Fringe or other locations, and they were turning it into a different map rather than the OG Verdansk. So maybe they went back and reverted to going to the OG style. So, and then Ghost of Hope also made another separate tweet mentioning this again. So he says he fails to understand why it took so long for the OG Verdansk to return, but his theory is they were going to do something different, and then they decided to change their mind. And then as for the Fringe map, he went ahead and replied to somebody who asked about it, and he said, no, I think it was just DLC thingy, or it was scrapped, or miscommunication on his source's part. So it seems like maybe the source got to playtest the first part of Verdansk, and then they thought that's what it was going to be like, and then maybe they updated it later on down the line. That's what I think went ahead and happened. But the fact is, Call of Duty is trying their absolute best to revive the game with Verdansk, and the thing is, if this ends up failing, I feel like Call of Duty is just going to lose all hope in nostalgia and returning older things, and that may end up having some sort of a bad precedent in the future. So maybe, like some people were saying, remaster BO2, bring back the OG maps on that. If this fails, then they're probably going to scrap that idea and then work on something completely different and try new routes, new content, and things like that. But what are your thoughts and opinions on the details so far that we know in terms of Verdansk? Now, something else to add on top of this is the fact that, as I mentioned earlier in the video, they're trying to basically bring back Warzone 1, and it's not going to feel like that if it's only Verdansk. We talked about the operators already in a past video. If you missed that, I'll have the video linked down in the description. But on top of this, they also mentioned that there's going to be some new weapons that are going to be coming in. So according to Ghost of Hope and Charlie Intel, who backed this information up, which is why I sort of believe this now, is the AMAX and the Kilo are going to return to Verdansk in Season 3. Now, these are some very popular meta weapons that people did use in the OG versions of Warzone, and it feels like it's just the fact that by them returning the same sort of weapons, having the same exact map, it'll give you that feel that you're literally on the map Verdansk. It wouldn't make sense to be running around with maybe like the D1.3 sector, and it just wouldn't feel the same. So they're adding these DLC weapons. So once again, it's probably going to be like a throwback season for the fact that they're just trying to make that nostalgia sell as much as possible and bring everyone back. And when people hear these DLC weapons, Verdansk, and all of this is coming back, then they're going to hopefully load up the game and try it out. And that's basically Activision's goal here, is to try and get everyone to play Season 3. So this is a very, very big deal for Call of Duty. One of the biggest updates. This could definitely make or break Call of Duty, in my opinion, because with the player rate declining, if it continues to decline even after the release of Verdansk, then they may end up scrapping Warzone as a whole. They may end up just trying something completely different. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I'm definitely going to follow up on this topic because every other day it seems like more and more news just keeps releasing, and I'm just going to keep covering for you guys. So if you are not yet subscribed, I highly recommend you hit that sub button. We're going to get a lot more information over these next couple of weeks. Call of Duty is also going to officially begin marketing, and with something this big, I think they're going to market it a lot earlier than usual. So we're going to have a lot to talk about. But that's all that I got for you guys in this video. I hope you guys found it informative or helpful. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you guys back on the channel again. Peace.